Is it true that during World War II, Japan was ready to surrender before the nuclear bombs were dropped, but the US ignored them and instead nuked them because they wanted to demonstrate America's military might to the world? The historical record does not support the claim that Japan was ready to surrender before the atomic bombings and that the US used the bombs primarily as a global demonstration. The decision to use atomic weapons and the timing of Japan's surrender were shaped by multiple military, diplomatic, and political factors. Historians disagree about weight. No authoritative Japanese acceptance of unconditional surrender existed before the 6th of August that would have ended hostilities on Allied terms. Soviet entry into the war mattered decisively. The USSR declared war on Japan on the 8th of August and launched a massive invasion of Manchuria on the 9th of August. Japanese leaders consistently treated Soviet entry as a game-changer because it closed off a hoped-for neutral mediator and threatened Japanese territory and the position of the emperor. Most Japanese decision-makers cited the Soviet invasion, together with the atomic bombings, as pivotal in persuading the Supreme Council to accept the Potsdam terms. U.S. strategic considerations and primary sources given to each factor. But primary sources and scholarship show Japan had not accepted the Allies' unconditional surrender terms before August 6 to 9th, 1945, and that U.S. leaders prioritized ending the war quickly while also considering but not solely acting for the demonstration value. Key facts and evidence. Japan's negotiating stance in July-early August 1945. Japan's government and military were divided. Senior leaders sought mediation for conditional surrender terms that might preserve the imperial institution. Militarists opposed surrender. The Potsdam Declaration demanded unconditional surrender. Japan did not accept it outright. The government issued ambiguous responses and sought clarification about the status of the emperor. Timing and choice of targets. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were selected for military-industrial importance and psychological impact. Weather and target lists influenced which city was hit when. The second bombing occurred before the US had conclusive evidence that Japan would surrender following Hiroshima. The US had also been conducting massive conventional bombing and firebombing campaigns that already inflicted catastrophic civilian casualties. Scholarly consensus and nuance. Most historians reject the simplistic Japan was ready to surrender and the US wanted to show off narrative. Primary documents show Japan was exploring conditional peace but had not surrendered. The Soviet. US planning documents. Presidential records and statements by Truman, Stimson, and the Joint Chiefs emphasize the goal of prompt Japanese surrender to avoid a costly invasion, to save Allied lives, and to end the war quickly. Officials also recognized a geopolitical dimension, demonstrating US military power to influence post-war politics. Contemporary memos and later memoirs show that this consideration existed alongside with varying prominence the humanitarian and military rationales. Historians debate the relative weight of motives. Many accept a mixed motive view, hasten surrender and deter Soviet expansion, not purely a theatrical demonstration, and downplays the documented strategic and diplomatic context. For deeper reading. These sources show nuance. The bombings were not a simple demonstration stunt, but neither were they free of geopolitical signaling. Post-war testimonies from Japanese leaders cite the combined shock of the bombings and Soviet entry as decisive. Practical synthesis.